Welcome to our YouTube channel. The war in Ukraine continues fiercely in many regions, especially in the southern and eastern regions. Various analysts predict that both Russia and Ukraine are preparing for a massive offensive in the spring. Russia has started attacking different targets in Ukraine again, including Kyiv. Some experts interpret this as Russia wanting to send a message that it is still willing to fight. However, as experts have stated, Russia's plans are not working out and a long-term war would not be in Russia's favor. When the invasion started, Russia thought it would be easy to control a country like Ukraine within a much shorter time frame. If we compare Russia and Ukraine, Russia is obviously more advantageous, but if we compare Russia with the West has obviously more power. Russia's national wealth is around $7 trillion, while if you take the West as a whole, it is around $40 trillion. It is not possible for Russia to win a long-term war at this global level. That is why Russia's dominant strategy is to create cracks within the West, to prevent the West from continuing the war and to reduce the support that the Western world gives to Ukraine and isolate Ukraine. But this is not happening because recent messages indicate that, especially England and Poland, are willing to give Ukraine the military support it has requested. Especially in this war scene, it is unlikely that Russia will achieve significant result. The English seem very eager in this regard. As you know, there is also pressure on the Germans in this direction. Poland and Ukraine are calling for Germany to provide Leopard tanks as soon as possible. Even if Germany will not provide them itself, Leopard tanks sold by Germany to other countries also depend on Germany's permission. The US is already looking like it will open the wallet. As you may know, Zelensky recently visited the US and got a promise from the Congress for an additional $40 billion in military aid. The US has already allocated $60 to $70 billion for this. We can see that as the days go by, the West's timid and hesitant attitude is slowly decreasing and a more courageous Western attitude is emerging. It is thinking about strategies to deter Russia from using nuclear weapons. That is another concern, because Putin has been threatening the West multiple times to use nuclear weapons. This also scared the West, and they were slowly losing ground. Therefore, when Russia started the invasion in Ukraine and Zelensky pleaded for weapons from the West, almost all Western countries said that if they get involved with these weapons, it could lead to a third world war, and that they don't want to be involved in a war against Russia. Many calls from Zelensky have gone unanswered. Zelensky felt let down, even making a statement saying he was disappointed. Germany was criticized for only sending helmets, but from a certain point on, things started to change. Ukraine desperately needed help. It had no power to fight against Russia on its own. The West saw this. A stronger Russia would also be a threat against Europe and the US, a more resistant US, a NATO that is getting closer to the US, and Europe that aims to develop its military capabilities more and more, and even Germany, which is waking up from its geopolitical sleep and is now able to achieve results by using more military power instruments against Russia, started to act more actively on the issue. Of course, Russia's dominant strategy to create cracks between the Western world and Ukraine will continue. The citizens of these Western states also have a choice here. If asked, for example, in a serious public opinion poll, there are two questions: peace or justice. Those who want peace say talk to Putin as soon as possible. They state that this is not really our war, in essence. On the other hand, there are also those who demand justice. They say that we must never give in, and this war is a clear violation of international law. If we give in to Russia here, we will only whet Russia's appetite, and it will not stop here. If they gain a victory here, they may do something else. This is also a consideration. This is a struggle between the two sides. Prolonging the war can also be advantageous to the US. They have revived NATO, and of course, the US has strengthened its role as natural leader of the Western international community. Its image is being engraved in the minds of the world's people again. The US could not have intensified the war this much without a great strategy of prolonging it. Therefore, the US is obviously benefiting from this. But there is also a problem here. Many countries in the world, other than the States and China, are very uncomfortable with this situation. For example, consider African countries, South American countries, and Southeast Asian countries. They are saying, enough already. We are also in a relationship with Russia, and we are also benefiting from it, and therefore we don't want to be bad with them. Don't leave us in a position of choosing sides. We don't want to be in the middle. Turn your heads and try to find a solution as soon as possible. There are many calculations, but it should be noted that the prolongation of the war has also served a political function for the Putin regime in terms of consolidation, even though it has caused some difficulties within the country. As we know, nationalism has increased in Russia. Russia's economy has not been affected too negatively by the sanctions imposed on by the West. They have managed to maneuver well. In fact, due to the attitude of the countries described as Global South, the West has not been able to achieve the desired results with the imposed sanctions. Therefore, Putin has a significant advantage in winning the heart of the Global South, but hopefully it will end soon. The Global South does not want to intervene or get involved. It looks like they understand Russia, but they do not approve of what Russia has done, which is a huge violation of international law. Everyone accepts this, but they are trying to manage it because of economic interests. The West is also trying to take advantage of every opportunity to win public opinion and exert pressure on the West's elite. When we look at the statements being made, we see that they will go to the end and conduct the perception that the operation is being carried out with the permission of the world in order to win the public opinion. And it is successful, according to Putin. This is not just a Ukraine-Russia war, it is a Russia-West war, a war between authoritarian governments and liberal democracies. The West is trying to protect the world from Russia and saying that they are the best of the West, the best of the liberal free world. What do you think are the real intentions of the US helping Ukraine on this large scale? Just saving people from Russian terror, or do they have other interests in mind? Let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe to support our channel. Thanks for watching.